Lewis Fry Richardson was an English physicist and mathematician born in 1881. A prodigious talent, Richardson applied his scientific gifts to solve many problems throughout his life. At age 5, upon hearing his sister remark, "Money grows in the bank," he buried money in the garden to test this theory. When news of Titanic's sinking reached Richardson, he took to a rowing boat armed with a horn to experiment with the use of echolocation as a means to calculate the distance of an object at sea. Richardson's most famous work, however, was in the field of weather forecasting. A key element of modern accurate forecasting is the use of complex algorithms run on powerful supercomputers that process observations of current weather through a mathematical model of the atmosphere to forecast its future state. Meteorology in 1917, however, at a time when Richardson was deployed as an ambulance driver on the Western Front, relied on matching current weather with repeated patterns in past weather records. Richardson knew that a more scientific method could be applied, and while World War I continued around him, he began to experiment with the idea of creating a numerical weather forecast. For his first attempt, he tried to recreate a past forecast given for Central Europe, based on published weather data for that date, such as temperature, pressure, and wind speed. He devised a gridded map of the forecast area and generated, by hand, the first numerical weather prediction. These calculations took Richardson 6 weeks to complete, in which time he produced just a 6-hour forecast for one location. Whilst this first forecast was far from perfect due to limitations with the data used, Richardson's pioneering methodology was later found to be sound. In 1922, Richardson published the now famous weather prediction by numerical process. Alongside his methodology, he described his fantasy of what has since been dubbed his forecast factory. Richardson imagined a large circular theatre, like a hall, with a map of the world painted on its walls. He estimated that 64,000 computers, not computers as we know today, but mathematicians tasked with computing, would be needed to calculate weather forecasts in real time, each responsible for one small part of the globe. Richardson's foresight in this concept was phenomenal. His forecast factory almost perfectly mirrors how supercomputers now use parallel processors to undertake the huge numbers of calculations needed to run global forecast models. Whilst Richardson's vision of the forecast factory was never realised, he will be remembered as a pioneer in the field of numerical weather prediction, whose work set the foundation for modern forecasting. Today, LFRIC, a programme of work to develop the next evolution of the Met Office Unified Model, recognises the significance of Lewis Fry Richardson's work through its name.